cars come. Oh yeah, we're doing this. Okay, so this is where it might get tricky, but what we could do is make it seem like there's two access roads going in. So we can also do that same slope with the curve like that. Okay, so let's try and get this a little bit smoother. It's actually not too bad. The auto build thing right there. Okay, and I want that to kind of go downwards now. But almost like we're scaling the size of the wall, you know? Nope. I don't know if it's gonna like this. We have to... Oh, whoa, ho, 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 hey now. Hold on to your horses, friends. I think that's kind of the end, though. Oh wait, oh gosh, where was it? I just saw it. Yes. Okay. And it would be cool just to get a little... There we go. Neat, neat, neat. Okay. Now this part is just, this is me pushing my luck. So if this doesn't work, I'm not, my feelings aren't hurt. That's gonna be way too steep. But what if we go like this? And then we could do is stop these two at a common endpoint, connect them like such, and then go like that. And then now here's the part where I might be pushing it way too much here. That seems too steep. But I'm hopeful there's a way in though. Because you can't actually do the old page up, page down trick with these kind of roads. Well, I mean, if that's the only way, it's the only way. I just feel like it kind of takes away from everything now. Alright, so let's just go like that then. Maybe just have this as a back road or something, you know? Not the worst, looks like kind of a racetrack. And now, what we could do is we could see what it would look like with some zoning. Just to make it seem like there is some industry. So why don't we put something here? And I will hesitantly put a few buildings, just, you know. They might come out. I'm just kind of curious. Makes it seem like there's been like little production stops or, you know, places here and there along the route. Okay, so we'll see how this ends up looking. And we should be far enough away that pollution shouldn't kind of bug this area here. And to connect to the highway, we could just do a really simple little... Because I don't want this to be a crazy busy exchange. So I mean, we'll have this as an on-off ramp on its own. Like these will connect to eventually break off into 6-lane and just kind of serve this little industrial part. And it'll just be the break for traffic. But over here, just to get some, we could do like a little rural kind of style connection. We do it below. Like a little sunken part. Just super simple. I don't want this to be like chaos, right? Okay, so let's make this bigger. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts like that. And then from here, just for like almost realism's sake, you can just have this street end like that. Just have that one go inward like that. That's not too bad. Nor is that. Just something kind of simple. And then it can probably double for the forestry industry as well. So you know what, let's get a little bit of that going. I think that'll look kind of neat. Oh, actually, no, we could do. No, because I don't really want people to use this interchange. Oh gosh, this is tough to think about here. Okay, so let's not let this be the end of the interchange. So we'll actually come down a little bit further in. Okay, so those are those guys back, which is fine by me. And we will indeed have to bring some water. I wonder what's wrong with this slope here. Tell me your secrets. Why can't I build water here? Okay. Mystery solved. Oh wait, these are not connected yet. There we go. Oh wait, what? That's like floating upward pipe. What? I have no idea. No wonder nothing would build there. Okay, so that covers that spot. And it's just super loose just to get us started here. And of course we need power, that always comes in handy. Is there good wind over here? Interesting, there's really great wind on top of the highway. No, just our friends over there, right? Okay, well we don't really need more power, so I guess we'll just do power lines. No, I don't want that. That's what I want. I'm worried this might be too much industry, though. Oh, right, we have to switch it over and see what that looks like. Almost forgot how to do that for a second. And what are we making this? Or? Oh, Underhill Park, that's so... I like that. Huh, I like that a lot, actually. It's very clever. Okay, so let's see what the buildings look like when they switch over, because if it looks too clustered over here, I might remove a few. But so far this looks good. Yeah, just more or less the same kind. Put this on 3 speed for a second. Oh, okay, never mind. That's more of a bulldozer kind of cutting up the ground kind of look. Okay, so this is looking better. Starting to get busy. Okay, so let's take out one of these. Oh, it just went online too. She'll take them both out. Instead, we'll just give... Oh, this is also going to be a big problem. Not a big problem, it's just going to look too busy, you know? There, that'll help tackle some of our industrial demand anyway. And if we could just get a couple more of these guys to come in, that'll spread the power. So we'll just kind of let that happen. Go back down to 1 speed. And then just to get some action, let's say that is the boundary. This will obviously be expanded. It's just to start us off. Middle square, not really that original. Okay, what do we want to name this part of our town anyhow? Oops, I was going to use the WASD there to move around. I mean, the east side is city, so we can just call it like the Eastern Hills Forestry Division. Is that too long? And then Underhill Mines. Or should we stick to the same thing called this Eastern Hills Mining Operations? Okay. And we seem to have lost that one big building. Now that that's gone, we have no power. Okay. Oh, there we go. That is satisfactory. Okay, not quite how I envisioned this to go, but I do like it nonetheless. And you can kind of see now that we're going down in terms of the industrial demand, you'll kind of see this. This was poking through earlier, but it hasn't gone down, which is good. Okay, so in this part, let's make this forestry. Yes. And this is super just to get it started. This is like not by any stretch of the imagination what this will end up looking like. And then it will be busier over in this part. Too bad there's no, like, we can get, like, you know, the ferries up here. That'd be kind of cool. Oh, and we may have to redo these interchanges, the ones that were like the pre-built for the rail, because I've downloaded at this point so many custom trains that is A, awesome, but B, just like all of them are different lengths, so it's kind of like I'm running into problems. I just know it. But I got some new freight trains. We've seen this one already. I don't know if you guys have seen that one yet. Probably. That was last episode if you guys were looking for it. We have another. We've seen these guys before. I'm supposed to have one more type of American freight cruising around. I don't know where that is though. I don't want to get sidetracked looking for this the whole time. Oh, who knows? We'll see it. Okay, so we seem to be experiencing a little bit of a death wave right now, which unfortunately does happen. It hasn't really hit our population in the hardest way, but you can kind of see we've got, unfortunately, the bulk of our people, when they move in at the same time, they kind of die at the same time. So we'll just make sure we're ready for that. And we are going to eventually see, we kind of did dip into the negatives. We might see the population go down, but because we're kind of, creating a whole bunch of new demands, it should balance out. But when these things happen in your city, don't panic. Don't feel like it's anything you did. It just happens to be that nature is running its course, Because if we look, we're, like 40, 50 years into our build, right? So anyone who moved in who was like middle-aged, this is when the city first started. This is now the time for them to expire. Okay, so we'll just put down maybe one more crematorium. Just kind of keep keep things moving. And it would be nice to get one over here. Oh, here's a good spot. Let's put some trees around it temporarily. Keep those guys busy. Oh, its hearse is leaving. And we'll keep an eye out, because some of the other cemeteries, remember last episode we have to empty them? So if they're emptying, I don't know if they're necessarily putting vehicles out or not. But this guy offers how many? Oh geez, we're already all in use. That's okay. They'll get the job done. Okay, so let's put one more in over here. I'm trying to think of doing the least amount of impact here, These center areas, we're going to have to drop in some trees eventually. Okay, so these guys go in right to work right away, which is excellent. And you can see it's one of those things, it is citywide, it's not really confined to any one district. These being newer districts, they're not really going to be as affected, but people, they do generally move around in the city, right? But it's just this neighborhood, as you can see, is older than these guys, so bulk of it's up here, but you'll see it is spread around through the city. But again, when it happens to you, don't panic. You can see I'm not alarmed. And our population still is in the positives, right? You just might have to add a few more, cemeteries or crematoriums. But that's, again, not the end of the world at all. Just make sure your budget is, is ready for that. Luckily we are. I mean, we've had really good financial planning since day one, right? So I don't think we've actually ever run into any problems in terms of money in the city, knock on wood. But we'll just let this thing run its course, Like I said, we'll see some fluctuations in the population, but out with the old, in with the new, right? And so if we do look at our population graph right now, you can see, so seniors is the dark, like the kind of gray. If you'll notice, not that many in areas that have, we see a few death waves. You can tell, though, this will be the next one to get the death wave, right? Because some of these guys are starting to get old. Again, it's not set in stone, it's just like generally the newer the district, the less likely you are to have a death wave, just because the people moving in generally will be a bit younger. But that's not to say that, people in the city, they might move around too, so. Anyway, you can kind of see now what's happening is we're getting young people and families coming back in, so. The cycle is running its course, which is good. Okay, so let's take a quick peek on the rest of the services, because you can see we've actually got some pop-ups here and there. This guy has always been an issue with crime, and I ran into this problem when I dropped this in the European city as well. It's already giving me pop-ups on crime. So I mean, a police car just came by and nabbed the criminal, so I think we're okay, but so, we'll keep an eye on that, because we do have the police station, I think, right next door, right? Yeah. Okay, so we'll look through our services through this tab. So electricity we know is pretty poppin'. water, we already know this could be an issue eventually, but I think we're okay for the moment. Garbage, we are definitely on top of that. Healthcare, pretty darn good. Okay. I want to see... Flip side, there we go. Well, that's good. Average health, 82%. That could be higher, in my opinion. So maybe we could put... Let's put another hospital over here. Like, I'm not too worried about the island, though, just because we're going to be doing a lot of changes to it. But if we can make life a little bit more agreeable for our people down there, then let's give that a try. Okay, so plenty of spaces available. Should be able to tackle this death wave without too much of an issue. Now, fire coverage has been a problem always, but for this little part, but and we've been saying that we want to fix this since the dawn of time. We just haven't had the... I don't really have a good excuse, to be honest. Let's just put this guy over here. There we go. No, I do eventually want to work on the small town again. I don't know why I keep putting this off. I think we'll probably do that one of the next episodes coming up. Still a nice looking place. Just needs a little bit more of an upgrade. Oh, there we go. This is what I was looking for earlier, guys. Here, let's get ourselves a line. Oh, there's another one. Look at these beautiful trains. Oh, and they're so long. Oh, that's fantastic. Delicious. Oh, so very nice. And the Canadian counterpart is also a very nice one too. Great stuff. So look at this, our population is going up during a death wave. How about that? I like that. But I think we'll just end the episode off here, guys. I don't want these to become too long, because I have a very bad tendency to let that happen, but I see we made a little bit of improvements. We got a little bit of a mining operation starting, which looks kind of cool. And this is more what I had in mind. This is a bit better in terms of building spacing and just some random stuff here and there. I just want people to have a reason to kind of drive through, so it does look like there's some activity happening. And we will get a little bit of raw materials and stuff too, so this actually will benefit our industry. And like, you know, they'll just kind of take this right down the highway, probably over to this section, and then they can turn this into some, you know, commercial goods, which then get shipped into the city to be sold to our citizens. So cycle continues, right? But yeah, I think we'll probably pump out a little bit more effort into the forestry area next episode, because you can kind of see our resident man is still there. I just, you know, we gotta kind of squash these two. But no, very good episode. A lot of fun. I'm liking this, guys. City, it's really coming together in a very good way. And again, if this death wave stuff happens to you, like, don't let it panic you, you know. A lot of the same type of building here. This is a new building I downloaded. If you want taller buildings, I've said this a few times before, just go through the Steam Workshop and then download anything that has a growable option. And so that just means as it levels up, it'll kind of change size. It just won't be any one fixed size. And then those ones, generally speaking, are going to be taller than the in-game highest level ones. So it just adds a little bit more height. And so this was the area that I had converted in the start of the previous episode. And so you can see now that we've kind of added some more jobs to the city, we've improved some of the services, people have been like really eager to move in. So this area has filled right up. And you know what, I'm actually tempted to do higher density just on this little block right here, just so it connects a little bit more fluidly into this side. And then what we'll do is we'll switch these two, even though that's not commercial, we'll switch both of these into a little bit of commercial tower. And then just right back here, we'll put one office tower in. Great. And again, that way it's just kind of like a more of a connected flow of downtown style, higher rise buildings. And I think maybe even next episode, or the one after that, we'll have to do just like a general episode geared towards improvements. Because you can kind of see I keep kind of going back and forth between many areas in the city. So we may have to just do, some road improvements here and there, maybe change some bus lines, add some more buildings, tweak some intersections. Like this whole quadrant, you kind of see traffic. It's kind of getting to, we're kind of hitting the limit here. And then you can see when you get really big issues with traffic, it's just now you can see like a fire truck couldn't get to this building in time. So those are the kind of things you want to avoid in your city. And so for us to kind of help squash traffic over here, what we could do is upgrade this, but I think we're not going to have the room because of the road. But yeah, we'll probably take a look at ways to fix this. Really quickly, what we could do is turn that into two-way traffic. That way they can exit this way as well. So we don't really have an issue with traffic coming in. We did have this as a one-way, you can see right here, which it still is. So it does kind of limit people using this as like a shortcut through the area. But now trucks can kind of go outward instead of having to just use this one way to exit. And that should help get services through here a little bit faster too. Alright guys, well yeah, I think that's about it. I will see you in the next one. And I'll cut that one out a little bit faster than the gap in between these two. I didn't mean for that to be the case, just got caught up in work and had to go in a little bit early and stay a little bit late each day, so kind of kept me a little bit too busy, When I was getting home, I was just a little bit too worn out. And I don't want to make a bad episode, I think we're on a good trend here, knock on wood. Haven't been too boring, been kind of fun. And this looks neat. Like the city, it looks cool. It's my favorite word ever, right? Cool and awesome, but it does look cool. And I would live here. And it just, I'm excited to improve upon it. 'Cause I think there's just a lot of room for improvements, and it'll be a lot of fun doing that. You guys are great with your suggestions, great with the feedback, and it really does feel like we're all a team working on this together. And I know that some of you just, you hide in the woodworks, don't like to comment and stuff, and that's totally no problem. It's just, it still means a lot to me that you watch it, You don't feel like you have to tell me. And for those of you that haven't commented in a while, also no problem. My feelings not hurt in the least bit. I know you're still there. I do see a lot of you have like the like button hooked up to your Twitter, so I'll get the Twitter notifications. So some of you, I just see that like all day, every day, you like these episodes. So that means a lot to me too, guys. But in the grand scheme of the channel, it's growing so much, and it's like I love it. Like I feel like we're just a big family, and I'm glad we don't fight, Oh goodness, I'm a dork. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one, and yeah, have yourselves a great weekend.